What is going on, guys? My name is Trash and today I'm bringing you a video on the tombs of Amascut. So before you watch this video, just know that this is by no means a guide because I'm not necessarily great at the content. I know what I'm doing to a certain degree and I've learned how to solo now, so I'm going to just show you the run that I do for solos. The invocations that I'm currently running is Hardcore Run, Walk for It, On a Diet, Lively Larvae, Blowing Mud, Not Just Ahead, Arterial Spray, Blood Thinners, Gotta Have Faith, Shaking Things Up, Boulder Dash, and Acceleration. And for the gear, I'm taking a very stab heavy set because this raid is really stab weak. You could definitely be taking more gear switches than I am at the moment, but I'm actually not that great and I'm just still getting into the swing of things, so I'm gonna ease into taking more gear, but I'm not gonna rush myself. That's important. While ancient spells aren't 100% necessary, honestly, they're really good to have, so take them if you're not. Alright, with all that being said, I think I'm ready to go into the run. Let's go. So for the Krondus puzzle room, I like to start off doing the one tick. So if you don't know how to do this, essentially what you do is you stand at the southmost tile, and then you enter the room and lose no ticks as you enter. You should be clicking on the watering can and dropping something on your way, and then clicking on the northwestmost entrance. And then on your way back, you should be freezing a crocodile before you go for your second one. And then you go to the southeast entrance, I believe it is. And that there will be pretty easy as long as you wait for the third trap on the left side to go off. So yeah, that should be easily like a 50-second room on average. So for the boss room, you're going to be dealing with two special attacks. One is going to be a wave attack where you've got to dodge the waves, basically like Galvek, but there's one small difference where you can actually break the jars and clear an easier path for you to survive, which honestly, if you can do that, that is such a good strat, it helps a lot. I would recommend. And then the other special attack is when you've got to try and hide behind a rock, but in order to hide behind the rock you need to break a jar next to the rock. So the best way to do it is to break a jar on the rock, but if you don't really have any easy souls like you'll see in this footage here, I kind of just went for it. You can hit it while you've rolled it, and if you get used to doing that, that's probably going to be useful for like speedrunning because then you don't have to wait. It's a pretty easy mechanic once you get used to it. And then at the end of it, there's a rage phase and then it just attacks a lot faster. You want to avoid the blood spawns and just, yeah, have a good time, and it's a DPS check. Alright, so now for the most tedious part of the raid. So it's going to be the puzzle rooms. So most of them are memory games, and then like one of them you've got to do some sort of light puzzle, and then another one you've got to do some sort of like counting thing, where you've got to count based on assigning numbers to different things. I don't know, you've got to reach a number and it's kind of AIDS, but it's okay. Alright, now for the boss. Now if there's one thing I've learned about Carefree, it's that it puts the free in Carefree, because this boss is free as fuck. Like, I haven't died here yet, and when the day happens I'm gonna be extremely sad because it's just so unlikely. Something that you're supposed to do during the kill that I don't really do that much because I'm honestly a bit lazy, but you've got to blowpipe the scarab swarms. But if it overheals, honestly, because it's such an easy boss, you can just sort of let it be, and you can just DPS it back down. You probably lose a decent bit of time, and I'm pretty sure the defense goes higher, but it's something that I sacrifice because clicking scarabs is not fun. Another thing that I like to do during this boss is I like to stand on the northeast and the southeast corner for the first two dung attacks, and then after that I like to go west because then it will put the melee scarab in a little box and he can't really do anything. You don't even need to kill him, he'll heal the boss like 5 damage or 5 health, but he's not really much of a problem. So you can kind of just ignore him and get on the mage scarab and then you're gaming. When I'm buying my stuff, the 3 things that I look for is a smelling salts, I want a liquid adrenaline, and I also want an ambrosia for the final boss. You do get more supplies in 2 rooms, so you can afford to, you know, hold out on the brews and the restores for a bit. In this room, there's a few things that you want to do. Most importantly, you want to kill the monkeys and you want to do everything that Atmeken's site guides you to do. So you want to repair pillars and you want to use the vents. The monkeys that you've got to kill, you've got to use the combat triangle. So if it's a green one, you want to use melee. If it's a blue one, you want to use ranged. And if it's a red one, you want to use mage. Other than that, there's a few other monkeys in the room. You've got a cursed baboon which puts venom on the floor. You've got a baboon shaman which spawns thralls. That is kind of annoying, so you want to get on top of them pretty quick, and you can use them for heals as well. And then there's a volatile baboon, and those ones, they're annoying. They blow up on you, so you've got to run away. It's kind of like crabs in Verzik and Tob, but you've just got to dodge them and it's easier. Now for Bubba. This is a criminally underrated boss. This one here actually kills me more than any other boss in the raid. There's just a few things you really got to look out for, so you're going to make sure that you're clicking on the right boulder and you're moving correctly. And you want to make sure that you're killing the baboons so they don't trigger sarcophaguses, because they do more damage than you'd think. If there is rocks on the floor, before anything, just go to the rock and bring him over to you. Don't go over to him. It's a lie, you don't actually have to go over to him, you can just drag him onto you, man. I've died to that attack so many times. I've probably, I don't know, I think the highest I've seen was like 61 damage, and it's not fun. Okay, so for Het's puzzle room, you've got a little light puzzle and a little Zolcano type mini game here. So essentially what you've got to do is you've got to reflect the beams off the mirrors, and you've got to try and hit the shield. Once you've done that, you've got to mine the NPC, and then, yeah, you home run it. You've probably got to do this in 2 downs more often than not. It is possible to do it with the dragon pickaxe, and I believe like 90 something mining, but it's not common. Alright, now it's time for Akka. A lot of people don't like this boss, and I can definitely see why. It's a DPS check, and it sits there just constantly DPSing you, and it changes its styles a lot, and it's not fun. It's a long boss fight. Some of the attacks that it will do in solo is it will make it so you can't go on your previous tile. It will do a little thing in the middle where you've got to kind of remember each one that you've got to stand on, or you're going to take big damage. And then there's the final phase where he constantly teleports after you do 3 hits. This one here, I've died at a few times in team raids, but in solos it's actually kind of manageable. So I know a lot of people that will go double power every time. I don't normally go double power, but I did get 2 ambrosias on this run, which would mean that I would normally go double power. If I were to get only 1 ambrosia, I'd probably have gone one of the other ones to get more prayer or to get more bruise, but honestly, if you've got enough ambrosias, you've pretty much got the fucking win in the bag, lads. I'm being honest. These need to be patched. And now we are into the last 2 fights. So these are honestly really fun, and Jagex did an amazing job on this raid. I just want to say that right now, because this has been an amazing experience to be doing these types of fights. It's interesting, guys. If you haven't done it, go try it. So the way I normally start is I normally tank a few hits on one side just so I can off tick it. So I'd normally tank, I believe it's 10 hits, which is about 30 damage, so it's easy to sort of know how many you need to tank. And what that will do is that will change the little light disco things and the timing of the bombs that come in. And that's just going to save you a lot of headache and damage, because if you don't do that, then both of the lights come in on the same tick, and every single tile in the room is covered. I learnt the hard way. For this next boss, you then equip ranged until you get it down, and then you dump as many DDS specs as you can onto that orb. And then as soon as that happens, you want to go straight into your mage gear, I think it is, and you want to keep on maging him, and you want to dodge all of the electricities and all of the little attacks that he does, because there's a lot. He can attack with ranged and mage. Mage is the red skulls, ranged is the little, I think they're like little poops that he throws at you. Normally I can get him in about 2 downs, but sometimes it takes 3, and it's not that big of a deal. You just need to do everything that you've been doing for the last 2 phases one more time. And honestly, once you get used to it, it's really like 7 hits or 8 hits, and it's really not that bad. Then you get to the final boss, and you always want to start on the right. So you'll go from the right, then he'll shake the ground, and then to the left, then he'll shake the ground, and then to the middle, then he'll shake the ground. And then if you can keep in that rhythm, you should be fine. At about, I think the first time that he releases the skulls, at that point you'll have to start praying ranged and mage between every 3 hits. So then at the second set of skulls, Kefri will spawn and start shooting bombs at you. I believe it's around the set of skulls, or that's just roughly the timing that I get it on. But that just adds one extra element to it of you not being able to stand on the same tile, and you need to be dodging as well. Once you get the Warden down to about 60 health, it will start healing up again, and then you don't have to worry about going from side to side or stuff like that, but you do have to worry about a bunch of AoE things. So if you see a tile that's not highlighted, basically walk to it. If you have any ambrosias, this is the time to use them. And then secure the kill count, because it's pretty easy once you get to this point. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like and a comment. I hope that maybe something in here maybe helped you on your way to learning solos or just improving in solos. Thank you for watching my video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. It's been your boy Trash. Peace.